PSN accounts are getting hacked, and players are asking the same question: what the fuck is going on at PlayStation? People are reporting locked accounts, missing games, unauthorized purchases, and this feels way too familiar. Sony says PSN is secure. Player says their account says otherwise. Is this another breach, or account security, or users being left exposed without enough protection? Because when this keeps happening, it stops feeling like bad luck and it starts feeling like a systematic problem.
Are you going to take?
Sony, you're part of the problem. Because every time this happens, the conversation gets muddy. Not every hacked account means there is a massive PSN breach, but that doesn't mean Sony is off the hook either. A lot of these cases come from phishing, reused passwords, old emails, compromises, or players not using two-factor authentication. But here's the real issue: the damage is the same either way. Players lose access to their libraries. Accounts get locked. Customer support takes days, sometimes weeks, to respond. When digital libraries are tied to one account, the compromises are huge. What's frustrating players isn't just security, it's the recovery process. Getting your account back can feel slow, confusing, stressful, especially when you got hundreds or thousands of dollars in games all on the line. So whether this is user error or platform gaps, the takeaway is clear: digital ownership only works if protection and recovery works with it. And until Sony makes that process faster, clearer, and every new report just adds the fear that your account and everything tied to it can disappear overnight. All right, so yes, there are reports of PlayStation Network being hacked once again. This is not its first time. It is, I don't even think it's the second time. I think this has happened multiple times. Like the intro said, not every time an account gets hacked is a spread wide security breach. Because sometimes there are phishing emails, fake PSN login pages, reused passwords from other breaches, but to players the result feels the same. One account, entire game library, losing access can mean a lot of money on the line, like the intro said. And hey, listen, this is the true evil side, or not evil side, but downfall to all digital ecosystem. This is its Achilles heel. Account recovery is the biggest pain point. Support response times can be slow from Sony. Verification steps can feel unclear and very inconsistent that some players have reported. And then players don't know how long the recovery will take, what proof is needed, and whether purchases will be restored. And sometimes there's unauthorized purchases. And so you need to figure out a way to get your money back from Sony. Like I said earlier, this is not the first, and I don't even think this is the second time this has happened. Repeated incidents kills trust. Even if causes differ, repeated stories create fear. If this keeps happening, it could happen to me. Type of thoughts start to be in players' mind. Trust erosion matters more than the technical explanation, of why these incidents happen. Sony's communication problem. Hey, Sony often responds quietly and very subtly and very late. Lack of transparency fuels speculations. Player wants clear guidance, clear timeline, and clear accountability. So all that to say, hey, I think this one, people did have 2-point authentication set up, and they shit still got hacked. And I know it was, I don't know, was it yesterday, the day before? I was in the middle of a session playing Arc Raiders, and I suddenly got logged out. And it was like, hey, it totally took me out my game and brought me to the main menu of the PlayStation, and it was like, you're not logged in. I said, what the fuck? And so I had to do all this shit to log in, and it all for it to be like, hey, take away your two-step authentication and put in a pass key. It wanted me to take away that shit. And I was just like, you brought me out of my game. You disrupted me. Why didn't you do this before I got in the fucking game? That's what really irritated my soul. But luckily, once I did that, somehow I still went back inside of the match, even though it was way less time. Yeah. But still, I mean, it really irritated me, and I was wondering what the fuck was going on, and then I got online and I saw the articles of, PSN network getting hacked again, and I was like, "Oh, okay, now it makes sense." I guess let me ask you this. It's kinda hard because I don't wanna blame the user. I mean, Sony lets you use a password over and over again. I mean, obviously, they don't have the right, things set up security-wise to prevent you from doing it, so, I mean, I feel like the responsibility is still on Sony, but let me ask, what responsibility should Sony have versus the users? Cases like this, when it comes to strong passwords and two-step authentication and pass keys and all that. What responsibility should a platform hold versus the users?
So it's on both parties to do what's necessary. Sony can adopt a 30, maybe even a 90-day thing, which people will hate until like, hey, you had this password X amount of time, you need to go ahead and change it. That will piss people off. You mentioned it. People using the same password for so many things. The best online security I can think of is Chase and Apple. You will get a notification very quickly from Apple saying, hey, this password came up in the data breach. Hey, you need to change this. And we're warning you right here and now. The sad part of this is this, it's gonna sound bad, but this is kind of a cultural thing because Sony and Nintendo are kind of leagues behind when it comes to network/online infrastructure. I'm not trying to glaze Xbox and everything because they've had online problems, hacks, DOD, DDoS attacks, etc. But it's nowhere near as frequent or as dramatic as it is with Sony. I don't know what precautions on the back end Microsoft does, but at the same time, Microsoft is a software company, so they're just great at this. But it will be some type of collaboration between Sony and the user to be like, hey, we want this, or we'll do this, and then on the back end, we'll handle this as far as protecting their accounts. Now, full disclosure, and we've mentioned before, me and my cousin, we game share, and I know for a fact she has made fun of me because my password is long as shit. It is almost a thesis statement, and it's because of this type of shit here happening. Just as the 2011 PlayStation hack, where the whole network was down for 30 days, I wasn't phased. That's where you got your disc and your single player games. But ew, it will take work on both hands. But Sony, I don't know why Japanese companies are just kind of lax with this online thing. I don't know if it's a gaming thing or whatever the case is. They would need to work more hand in hand as far as answering your question. Those are the best thing I think of. You can make it every 6 months, change your password. Do as I do with the special characters, capital letter, and a long ass password. Try to think ahead. But I wanted to touch on something from this report that this was happening. It's not a widespread breach. This is a more isolated things, and this is people oversharing. There was an article that I read that said that people's accounts are being exploited and potentially targeted, even if they do have two-factor authentication. And there was a French publicist went on record talking about how he lost his account. It was hacked. He got it back from the hacker, PlayStation support, and it was hacked again. And he talked, I won't say face to face with the hacker, but the hacker told him like, hey, you can do whatever you want and I'll get this again, and explain what the exploit is. The exploit itself is done by gaining someone's transaction number and through some back end, gaining the 4 digits of the transaction number, email address, and for whatever part of Sony's end, that little bit of information helps them gain access to the system. It's not necessarily through the whole network, it's through on the account level. And through that, people are just getting their stuff taken. And he had it taken multiple times and got it back. And the guy told him like, hey, I'm going to do what I want to do. There was another very famous PlayStation trophy hunter, Hakum, who detailed their experience with the hacker and PlayStation support, which ended sourly on for him, but he got his account back, and it did take a few months. There was also another trophy hunter, David123, who got their information stolen through their account and was being upsold on Telegram. I don't know what the hell that is. But it shows what we have been discussing between this online ecosystem, the digital future. Nothing is safe, but Sony, this ain't even a PlayStation thing. Sony needs to look into putting more resources and more of a backbone into their online infrastructure. I have never heard of you exploiting, but then again, I'm not a hacker, I'm not a computer whiz, of obtaining someone's account for a transaction number. But then again, we live in an age where everyone everyone shares every fucking thing on goddamn. It'll get worse before it gets better, but like I said, it will be something on both parties to do. Like reading this, I probably might change mine, and you probably should change yours. Whether it be just a shifting of the numbers, the order they're in, whatever it is the case. And I didn't know that happened to you, because for you to get fully signed out, it's like, yo, someone is doing something.
Yeah, but it was like I said, they wanted me to go get away from the two-step authentication. They wanted me to go to a pass key. So and I did check my libraries and my purchases. There was no issue. So I don't know. I don't think that was somebody. I think that was Sony trying to get me away from the two-step authentication. Maybe. I don't know. But it was weird. And that's why I did have
Can
to
I ask something? Was this through email that they said to do this?
No, like, so when I got signed out and I signed back in, I went to
Mhm.
the thing, and they was like, "Hey, there has been I don't know, something," and they said your two-step authentication is has a security risk. They suggested to switch to another security step, and that's where I went away from the two-step authentication, and I went to my face to be the authenticator.
This could have been them trying to
Yeah, yeah,
get
yeah,
ahead of the
yeah, yeah, yeah,
get ahead of the
yeah.
mess before it got big. Seeing that the two factor was not working as intended, so like, hey, use the passkey thing, because if I remember correctly, I think PlayStation sets 8 to 10, whatever, and they are specifically unique at that time, and you save them. If someone was not there when they were generated, there's no way for them to get a hold of that. So I can see that on that end. Shit, damn it, now making me nervous. But yeah, this is a relationship on both ends. Man, I ain't gonna lie, as consumers, we are lazy. I know, like one, hey, I say it all the time. I'm an old ass guy. I know people in their 40s and 50s that still use the same password for so much shit, knowing, hey, you know that's bad. You know you can get hacked or your information stolen. That, oh yeah, I know, but I'll get to it. I'm like, these corporations, you spend $300, $400, and you run them. Oh no, it wasn't me. They ain't quick to be understanding. They're like, hey, prove it.
Hey,
Same thing
that's
with
why
identity.
you should buy everything with a credit card, because you know what? That credit card is insured. Your debit card is No, no, I'm
And
not.
hey, but no, that's true though. That's true. Because them credit card companies, and this is why I said Chase and Apple. This is not a promotion. This is not a sponsorship. But Chase, at least with me, the moment I slide that card in any establishment that is outside of my norm, that transaction is denied. I get an email and a text message. Hey, is this you? Is
Mhm.
this you in Buffalo, New York, trying to buy a hand knitted scarf? The moment you say no, they're like, "Don't worry about it, Mr. Infamous. Close that card. You'll get another one in 7 to 10 business days. We recommend you go into a branch and grab cash." They're on top of it. Hey, what my cousin said is true. You can either get the cards that you can reload and tie it to your account, or a credit card. Because for whatever reason, credit cards, they have more access on their back end to see what's going on and whatnot. And when money has to get returned or sent back, unlike a debit card, that's 7 to 10 business days thing, it's almost instantaneous with a credit card. They don't fuck around. They have the juice to be like, yeah, that's not you. These are just the times we live in, sadly.
Yeah, so let's end it off. I'm gonna ask the audience a question. If one compromised login can erase your entire library, are we really owning our games? Hey,
Nope.
that's hey, and that's the downfall of digital ecosystem, like we said in our last video, man. But that's the risk you pay. One bad apple could fuck up your whole gaming experience. You go to log in one day, and hey, but let me know how you feel in the comments
Mm-hmm.
below.
And that's it for this video of Are You Not Entertained podcast. Thanks for hanging out with us. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and hit that bell so you'll never miss our next hot take. Until next time, are you not entertained?